was healthy, beat Clemson on the road, but he got hurt in that game. He is out for the year, and Syracuse has not won since. 3 straight losses. They won the toss, deferred. They'll kick off. It's a touchback, and so Haynes King will start on the Georgia Tech 25-yard line. His 3rd year with the Yellow Jackets after 3 at Texas A&M. He's been through a lot, up and down, injuries at A&M, benched at A&M, but with Georgia Tech here in Atlanta, he's been a star. This year, he's in the ACC Player of the Year conversation. 10 rushing touchdowns, most among quarterbacks, 3rd most among all players.
He is what Georgia Tech football is all about under Brent Key, and nobody does a better job closing out games late than what we've seen from Haynes King this year.
He'll throw on 1st down. 4 touchdown passes on the year, and it's a 1st down grab for Jamal Haynes out of the backfield, a 15-yard pickup.
You better identify these running backs, especially Jamal Haynes as a receiver out of the backfield, roll the pocket, and an easy dump down to his talented running back.
King has only thrown 1 interception on the season. That was against Colorado. He missed 1 game due to a lower body injury, but that was against Gardner-Webb, and they had no problem winning that game. King from the pocket throws a strike at the 45, and the ball's fumbled, and it's recovered by Syracuse. Chris Peel knocks it out. David Reese recovers it. Syracuse forces a turnover less than a minute into the game.
Well, Chris Peel does an outstanding job here ripping this football from the hands of Isaiah Canyon outside. Watch him as he comes in. He's going to rip it out with his right hand. I call it getting the lawnmower going, Dave. Rip that football out. Good hustle and effort to the ball to create that takeaway for Gary Bryant III.
And when you've been blown out 3 straight weeks, you haven't beaten a top 10 team on the road in almost 25 years. That's what you needed to start the game. Syracuse with that takeaway and starting in plus territory. And run on 1st down straight ahead with room inside the 30. Inside the 10 is Willis, and he's dragged down at the 1-yard line. But a 41-yard gain on the first play for the Orange.
Well, this is the key to this game, getting Yasin Willis going. Good blocking on the interior, the offensive line, and the big 235 back, hitting it downhill.
And now a flag comes down, movement by Syracuse.
Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty.
Boy, Dave, before the game, Fran Brown had incredible juice, incredible energy. And to start this ball game, his football team is matching that. The defensive takeaway and then the big explosive run on the first carry of the game. 2 things they knew they had to have coming in. They've gotten it here early.
Didn't like the call. He was headbutting players on the field. Him without a helmet while his players had helmets on. That's how jacked up he was. Willis off the left side. And he's kept upright for a moment and then brought down at the line of scrimmage.
But a Georgia Tech defense that struggled against the run most of the season. They were much better a week ago in that victory they had against Duke. And Syracuse struggled to run the ball effectively and consistently. It'll be a big factor in this game. They know they've got to take some pressure off the quarterback, Ricky Collins. They've got to be able to run the football here today.
Collins to the air. In trouble. Backs away. And sacked back at the 9-yard line. A 3-yard loss on the play. Brought down by Kyle Eford, their leading tackler for Georgia Tech.
Well, this is so important in this spot here for Ricky Collins. He has had serious issues with turnovers. 8 interceptions here since he's been the starter in the last 3 games. After the takeaway, be smart. Don't force anything that isn't there. You've got to come away after this takeaway with points in the pocket. I like to see him move the pocket, get him outside, give him a run-pass option.
And another penalty flag. Boy, Syracuse got to the 1. Now back-to-back 5-yard movement penalties.
Offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So that's Jonte Cook, one of the receivers, and that will back Syracuse Up near the 14-yard line, 3rd and goal.
Cannot happen. 2 procedural penalties when you've got the football on the 1-yard line. Just shooting yourself in the foot after the brilliant start to this game. Tight end Dan Villari, been a key piece of this offense all year. He's got size here in the red zone.
And the play clock running down to 2. They're going to have to take a timeout. Instead, there's a flag for delay of game, but Fran Brown did get the timeout called before a 3rd penalty
Before
on
the play
Syracuse.
clock expired, Syracuse calls timeout. It's their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
So Fran Brown in year 2 led Syracuse to a 10-win season last year. He's a great recruiter, and one of the reasons why, the way he relates to players, his energy. And Dusty, you mentioned pregame how he was getting after it.
Well, he told us earlier this week that he's got to bring the juice. He's got to bring the energy. I've seen very few head coaches on a game day pregame as energized as him. Headbutting players down there, pushing, shoving, just trying to create some life, some energy. It's been a tough 3-game stretch for Syracuse, and Fran Brown told us it's his job to motivate the coaches, to motivate the players. They're going to follow his lead. He brought the juice into this game, and this football team has responded.
But because of the penalties, it was 3rd and goal on the 1. It's now near the 15. And they're keeping on the ground with Nixon. Got back to about the 9. 4th and goal from here. And Syracuse will bring on the field goal team.
And I understand the call there. Look, when you get backed up that far, the thought has to be we've got to come away with at least a field goal after that takeaway. Create some positive momentum, play from in front. And after multiple penalties there, negates that big long run inside the 1. I think it's a smart call by Jeff Nixon. Be conservative and give yourself a chance to kick this field goal.
27-yard try for Trip Woody, who is 7 of 8 on the season. And Syracuse has the lead in a game for the first time since the last win for the Orange at Clemson back on September 20th.
Let's go, Jackets! Yeah!
Get him. Come on, Clay, get in here, man.
What do you say?
Go Jackets! Go Yellow Jackets!
Let's go, Jackets!
Beat Syracuse!
Beat Syracuse! We got this! 8-0, buddy! 8-0!
8-0.
8-0.
Indiana's a machine. It's just incredible what they've been able to do with that program back-to-back years.
Different quarterbacks, too. Fernando Mendoza checks in. That defense has been stifling. So impressive.
Touchback. Georgia Tech will start on its 25 again.
Similarly impressive, the way this Georgia Tech team runs the counter. It's a multitude of ways. How about quarterback counter? Fake the pitch outside, pull the backside guard and tight end, and then it's Haynes King sifting through the trash and winning this game at Colorado. How about the running back counter? Motion out the running back. He's going to come all the way back inside. Look at where he's aligned off the snap. Still pull backside guard, pull the tight end. Now Hosley works all the way back inside, still running a counter. It's like Baskin-Robbins, 31 different flavors of counters. We see it right here on this first down run.
And King picks up the first down. That was our proven performance brought to you by Goodyear. It's a gain of 13 for Haynes King. His first run. He came out throwing on the first possession. And there was a turnover on the second play. Isaiah Canyon with a lost fumble. Syracuse turns that into 3 points. And King to throw again. Swings it out in space to Bailey Stockton. And he's wrapped up immediately at the 38-yard line, so a gain of 1 on the play.
No Malik Rutherford today. The outstanding senior, he is out. Bailey Stockton's going to step in. Jordan Allen, the true freshman, we'll also see out there. So Georgia Tech out with one of their best wide receivers out there on the perimeter.
Georgia Tech, 19th in the country in total offense, 12th in rushing. And King to the air on second down and long. With time, checks it down with a long throw, and the catch is made by Jordan Allen at the 41-yard line. As we look at our impact players, brought to you by Mattress Firm.
Well, let's start with the Syracuse side of things. Demetrius Samuel Jr., the second youngest player in the FBS, crazy talented. We've already seen Yassine Willis in the backfield. Bradford for Georgia Tech is playing great at DN, and Jamal Haynes, an outstanding running back here for this Yellow Jackets offense.
On third down and 6, another pass play, and it's a first down catch by Eric Rivers. Spun down by Peel, who had the forced fumble on the first possession, but it's a 7-yard gain and enough to move the sticks for Tech.
Well, it's a really good route here by Eric Rivers. They're going to send him in motion, create the matchup they want, some space as he works back on the comeback. Nice job here. He's just going to work to the outside. An excellent job by Haynes King locating his target.
They run Haynes as they had an interesting formation with a tight end. J.T. Byrne actually lined up at tailback. And it's a gain of 2 for Haynes, who last year had just under 1,000 yards. 2 years ago, over 1,000. But they're splitting the carries this year with Haynes, Hosley, and a couple other players getting more reps.
Showed the graphic earlier. Only team in college football with 3 different players over 400 yards. It's a 1-2-3 punch with Hosley, Haynes, and then King run the ball as a quarterback.
King from the pocket, another strike. And out to the 40-yard line of Zion Taylor. And it's an 11-yard gain, another Georgia Tech first down.
Well, just an excellent find of Zion Taylor, wide open, just sits down the soft spot in that Syracuse zone. And a quick trigger there for Haynes King, easy completion.
King last year set the ACC record for completion percentage at 73%. Dump off pass here. On the run is Jordan Allen inside the 20. They finally get Allen down to the ground around the 5-yard line.
Well, we talked about the counter. Now they fake the counter, bring the speedy Jordan Allen in motion, and he's wide open and an easy throw for Haynes King.
Haynes King, 7 of 7 passing for 72 yards so far in the game. George Rooks, the injured Syracuse player. Rooks, a 2-time transfer, spent time at Michigan and Boston College. His dad played at Syracuse back in the 90s, and One Big East Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, you worry so much about the counter, stopping the run here. They're going to make it look just like a counter, pull backside. What they're going to do is bring this motion around, play action, and we're going to see Jordan Allen wide open out in the flat. Good perimeter blocking as well. But the speed by Allen out on the perimeter is outstanding. Just love the play design from Buster Faulkner. Not only do they show you all these different looks, but then they have counters off those looks. I think it's one of the best offenses, the best blend of run pass and keeping defenses on your toes that I've looked at all season. Buster Faulkner continuing to do just an outstanding job.
He is in his 3rd season. He was hired by Brent Key when Key got the full-time job. Key was the interim coach for a bit in 2022 when Jeff Collins got let go. Faulkner has championship experience, won a couple of titles as an assistant at Georgia. And actually, Syracuse head coach Fran Brown was on that Georgia staff as well at that time.
The balance this Georgia Tech offense has under Faulkner, 228 on the ground, 234 through the air. And it's concepts like that right there that get the defense out of place, misaligned, eyes in the wrong direction, and it sets up easy throws for Haynes King, getting it to talented, athletic targets.
Haynes gets the handoff on 1st down. Wrestled to the ground at the 3-yard line, bringing up 2nd down and goal.
Boy, quarterback run game, a huge piece of what happens here down in the red area. 10 rushing touchdowns on the season already for Haynes King. Faulkner loves to call the number of his quarterback. Got that size and physicality and forward lean that he runs with.
King pulls it back, throws the ball, and it's dropped. It would have been a touchdown by Josh Beetham. Only got 3 catches on the year, and maybe that's why.
Well, Beetham just takes his eyes off this football, Dave. I mean, this is as easy as it gets. You know, play action inside. No one accounts for the tight end in the flat, and quickly pulls his eyes off the football as he looks into the end zone. And
first incompletion thrown by King, but obviously not his fault. Now it's 3rd down and goal from the 3. King on the rollout. Throws back at the end zone. It's high and incomplete. Demetrius Samuel in coverage that time, and now Georgia Tech will bring on the field goal team. Eric Rivers was the intended target, and Brent Key wants to make sure he gets points here.
I'm surprised they didn't run Haynes King on 2nd or 3rd down. Not surprised at all that Brent Key going to take the points and try to tie this game up at 3 apiece. It's a good stop there by that Syracuse defense.
So Aiden Burrs 14 of 15 on for a short field goal, 20-yarder from that far hash mark. And Burr nails it to tie the game at 3, but that's a win for Syracuse.
Well, Georgia Tech goes right back down the field. They were in position for a touchdown. It was right there in their hands until it wasn't. A drop by Beetham leads to disappointment from the coordinator. We're tied here in Atlanta.
ESPN College Football is presented by Serve Pro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration, and in part by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
It's a game that means a lot to folks here around Georgia Tech. The win over Florida State, which was ranked #9 back in 2015, known as the Miracle on Techwood Drive, a blocked Roberto Aguayo field goal that was returned on the final play for the stunning upset. There's about 50 members of that 2015 Yellow Jacket team that were celebrated moments ago on the field.
I remember that play, Dave. That was incredible. What a moment for Georgia Tech football. A lot of alums back here today. Everyone excited about this Yellow Jackets team.
Yeah, packed house here at Bobby Dodd. A sellout for the #7 team in the country. Game tied at 3. Syracuse offense back on the field. Here's Taylor McGregor.
Dave, after Syracuse had 2 penalties on their opening possession, coaches really challenging quarterback Ricky Collins, telling him, you have to take over communication. This is your job. Syracuse is without their starting center, Austin Collins, today, so Joshua Miller in there at center. But that communication between the center and quarterback so important, and coaches really want Ricky to step up early.
Got ID fronts. There's a lot that goes on communication-wise. Center typically calls that with Joshua Miller in. More going to be on the plate of Ricky Collins.
Transfer from LSU, making his 4th straight start. 0-3 as a starter. He'll hand it off to Willis on 1st down. Out to the 28 for about 3 yards. Collins replaces the injured Steve Angeli, who replaces Kyle McCord. Think about the Syracuse offense a year ago. They led the country in passing, and they set a school record. But this year it's been really hard to move the ball through the air. May have to win this game as that pass way off the mark on 2nd and long. Intended for Justice Ross Simmons.
Well, it wasn't hard to move the ball through the air the first 4 games when Steve Angeli was in. He was off to an outstanding start right where Kyle McCord left off. But for Ricky Collins, the struggle has been very real, and this is what they wanted to avoid, a 3rd and long situation. Look for Georgia Tech to be moving around and trying to confuse and change the picture on Ricky Collins.
Collins with time, and he's got a good arm, but the pass is broken up, incomplete. Zachary Tobey on the pass breakup. It's 4th down, and Syracuse will punt.
Really good job inside. Watch him just come here, and you're going to see this blitz come as this play works. And a really good job inside, just digging that out from the interior. Looked like Jordan Vandenberg, pressure right in the face of Ricky Collins. And an excellent job on the outside. Good adjustment in the air down the field by Tobey.
Syracuse does have one of the best punters in the country in Jack Stonehouse. Bailey Stockton is the deep man for Tech. And Stonehouse just got it away. Nearly blocked. Great hang time on the punt, and the fair catch made on the Georgia Tech 23 after a 48-yard punt. 3-3 game here in the ATL.
A slow start for the number 17 in the country with some miscues. Hadn't turned it over the last 2 games, only 2 in the last 5 games. But a big rip out by Peel on the opening possession. Set up a field goal for Syracuse, and then a complete drop by Beetham. An easy walk-in touchdown. Georgia Tech tied up here late in this first quarter.
No turnovers the last 2 games, 2 in the last 5, but the opening possession, they give it away. And now Hosley running right with room up the sideline and knocked out of bounds by Brahim Long. At about the 32-yard line is where he stepped out, so a couple of yards short of a first down.
Boy, it's outstanding perimeter blocking as Hosley's going to get to the edge. Outside, it's Canyon, and it's Bailey Stockton doing a great job helping secure that edge for Hosley. And Malachi Hosley coming into this game averaging 7.5 yards a carry. He is just lightning with the football in his hands.
Hosley on second and short. Out to the 36-yard line for a first down. Hosley, the Ivy League Player of the Year last year at Penn. He was tackled that time by Jamie Tremble, who's been playing both offense and defense for Syracuse.
And Buster Faulkner said he's a different human with the ball in his hands. He's been an excellent addition. He's got great vision. We've seen the burst, and boy, just so tough to tackle out in open space.
Hosley again up the middle and tripped up at the 40. Well, it seems like more and more coaches are coming home. Guys that played at a school going back to the school to be the head coach. And Brett Key, who played offensive line for Georgia Tech, now in his 3rd year, he's done a terrific job turning this program around. Penalty marker down pre-snap. Well, Brent Key 7-6 each of his first 2 years. First time in a decade back-to-back winning seasons.
Offense number 58, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Last time Georgia Tech had 3 consecutive winning seasons, obviously they're going to get that and more this year, was a stretch from 97 to 2009 when Georgia Tech was an ACC title contender pretty much every year. And now it may be a national championship contender. Obviously a long way to go. 4 more games after today. Their toughest game after today is not in the ACC. It's against Georgia, the last game of the season. On the run, King wide open. He had a man, but he overthrew Bailey Stockton. Syracuse lost Stockton on the sideline, and it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Boy, a missed opportunity here for Haynes King. Pass just a little bit too high for Bailey Stockton.
3rd and 10, excuse me.
Good job out here on the outside. He's going to act like he's going to block, and then he's going to release outside. Nobody identifies or stays with him, and Haynes King just misses the mark.
Syracuse rushes 4, and Hosley with room, and he's got a first down. Tackled by Long at midfield.
It's going to be a whole day. Bailey Stockton out on the perimeter helped spring after the catch there. Flag came down right on the spot.
At the 33-yard line on the near sideline.
Holding. Offense number 7, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Throw this swing screen on the outside, and Bailey Stockton in the game. Talked about him a lot already. Watch him right here as he's going to work. That left hand, Dave's going to get outside the framework, and as the Syracuse defender goes to the ground, it draws a flag.
And that negates a 17-yard pass play and a first down. And with that being a spot foul, it's now 3rd and 21. Syracuse had 7 sacks last week. Will they bring pressure? First, a timeout.
Georgia Tech. Their first
The
timeout.
play clock was winding down
seconds.
for the Yellow Jackets. Let's go to the studio and check in with Matt Berry. So you got the rain going in Norman. You surprised at that score early on?
I am a little surprised. I expected more out of the Oklahoma defense. I thought they would be able to step up and play well. Trinidad Chambliss and that offense is really good, and they're off to a hot start against what's been one of the best defenses in college football.
And what a great story Chambliss is. Most people know it by now, but Ferris State Division II wasn't even the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year, but Lane Kiffin told us we had them early in the season. They knew in training camp that they had somebody special, and only because of injury he's been in the game, but what a great year he's had so far.
No question. If they can win that game in Norman today, the path becomes very clear for Ole Miss as one of those playoff teams. I believe, our ESPN analytics predictor had that all the way up with a win at 73%. So a huge game there in Norman, and a big one right here in Atlanta for Georgia Tech, another team that is right there in a great position to make their push for a playoff spot. But right here, 3rd and 21, backed up. I wonder if they just play this a little bit conservative here, backed up, Dave.
Instead, King unloads over the middle. The pass is caught by Stockton, but an immediate tackle at the 38-yard line, about 8 yards short of a first down, and so Georgia Tech will punt.
A really nice job there by Deuce Chestnut, the safety, allow that to come open underneath, and its catch tackle with such a long way to go on 3rd down. And for Syracuse here, it's a big stop. They're able to limit Georgia Tech to a field goal on the opening possession, and now be able to force this punt big to get their offensive football back.
Marshall Nichols on the punt. And he absolutely crushes that ball. He did have some wind at his back. That was a 62-yard line drive. It will come out to the 20 for Syracuse. Well, Fran Brown last year led one of the surprise teams in the country. Syracuse, its most wins since it won 10 in 2018. They set the school record for passing yards. Got off to a good start. The one loss was against Tennessee here in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz. Steve Angeli gets hurt, though, in the win at Clemson. And with Ricky Collins at quarterback, a little bit of Luke Carney last week, they've lost 3 straight games by an average of 22 points per game. But you talk to people around the Syracuse program, they believe that if they can keep Fran Brown, Syracuse is here to stay once they get their quarterback situation figured out as a contender in the ACC. Pass caught by Gill. Got a foot down and a gain of a handful.
I like that play call there by offensive coordinator Jeff Nixon. Move the pocket, nice easy throw, easy completion, and positive yards on 1st down for Ricky Collins.
But you think about the job that Brown has done as a recruiter. The NIL dollars have gone up as well in Central New York to get some of that talent. Straight ahead run, but nothing for Willis. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
There's no question, Dave. Fran Brown, his impact has truly been felt with the players that they've brought in, the belief that they have within this program. And we could sense it on the phone with him this week. I mean, even though things haven't gone great the last 3 weeks, there's no quit. And the competitive spirit within Fran Brown permeates throughout this program. A lot of bodies at the line of scrimmage here for Georgia Tech.
Collins passes way high, intended for Gill. And so it'll be a 3 and out and another punt for the Orange.
Well, the protection was good. They dialed up a blitz, and it was picked up well. Good job right here, picking up this pressure. Time for Ricky Collins, and just airmails that throw to Emmanuel Ross.
Inaccuracy has been a big issue, completing barely over 50% of his passes and leads the ACC in picks. And again, he didn't play really the first 4 games, and he still leads the conference in interceptions. Punt gets caught up in the wind a little bit, and Stockton is cut down after the 45-yard punt and just a 2-yard return. Coming up on ABC at 3:30, number 4 Alabama at Williams-Brice Stadium to face South Carolina. Then in Death Valley tonight. Man, it feels like A huge game for Brian Kelly, maybe not necessarily for his immediate future, but to at least settle down some of the fans in Baton Rouge with A&M coming to town.
It feel like it is a huge game. I mean, anytime you get a chance to play at night in Death Valley, you got to take advantage of that. And if they lose their third loss, to me, they will be eliminated from any playoff conversation. And when they were a hot team before the season started, with Nussmeier coming back, would be crazy with a third loss before they hit November.
Georgia Tech will keep it on the ground here on first down, and darting through a hole is Traylon Maddox. And he'll come up about 2 yards short of the first down.
It's good movement off the left side of that offensive line, go to more of a zone scheme. And Maddox putting his head down, and a nice pickup on first down.
Another run play. Haynes, and he's dragged down in the backfield for a loss on the play. And the man that made the tackle, Gary Bryant, helps when he's only run the ball once. He averages 17 carries a game.
Might run it here on this empty set.
Third down and 5. Instead, a pass play, and it's tipped, and it's still caught right at the first down marker by Jordan Allen. And it is a Georgia Tech first down.
Wow, how about the concentration by the true freshman? Ball's tipped at the line, and he's able to come up with that on a big third down conversion.
They come back with a wide receiver screen to Rivers, and he's into Syracuse territory at the 42-yard line, but a penalty marker is down.
Illegal substitution, defense. The penalties decline. First down.
Well, after that first down, Dave, Georgia Tech got up on the football and went super fast. Caught Syracuse trying to substitute. They snap it. As you see, unable to get George Rooks off the field before the snap. And well, what an addition Eric Rivers was from FIU. A third-team AP All-American a year ago. You lose Eric Singleton, but you add Eric Rivers. And he's so dynamic with the ball in his hands.
And they fake the jet sweep. King with just his second rush of the game. He's down to the 37. He's closing in on 600 rushing yards for the season. He had 587 all of last year. 11 rushing touchdowns a year ago. 10 this year to lead all quarterbacks. And third overall in the country in rushing scores. And a high snap. King controls it, backing up, being chased, gets out of there, and now takes off. Stays in bounds. Beautiful play that time by King to get the first down on a broken play.
How about Haynes King here? Nothing happening. He's working traffic. He's telling his receivers to go, outrunning defenders. I love the subtle hesitation. Defender flies by. Gets the first down and gets out of bounds. What a smart, savvy veteran play from Haynes King.
And Dennis Jacquez Jr., who was chasing King in the backfield and swiped at him. He's down on the ground injured back near midfield. We'll step away early in the second. Game tied at 3, but the 7th-ranked Yellow Jackets on the move. said it. So I'm going to go with him.
Syracuse defensive end Dennis Jacquez helped off the field moments ago straight to the tent, but bigger news perhaps, star linebacker Gary Bryant, who was injured a couple plays ago, went into the tent, came out, and trainers did not hand him his helmet. He then ripped off his headband in frustration. It does not look like he's going back into this game, Dave and Dusty.
So that's 2 starters down. George Rooks, another starter, was injured but then has come back. And now we've got a timeout by Georgia Tech.
Their second timeout of the half. It's 30 seconds.
Right after we come back from commercial. And so they've had to burn 2 timeouts here. And yeah, Brent Key not happy.
Brent Key not happy whatsoever. Throws down the headset in frustration. Irate with whatever the confusion of the situation was and having to burn that timeout.
I got a feeling that if you ever went into coaching, you would handle your team much like Brent Key. Just watching the 2 of you interact yesterday, a former O lineman and a former D lineman in our production meeting, it's like you guys were separated at birth.
He is a little bit intense, Dave, and I think maybe that's an adjective that you might use to describe me. But what I appreciate about Brent Key, he is about toughness. He is about physicality and discipline. And when his team doesn't play discipline, you see the frustration.
King in trouble and just throws that one away. That was a forward pass. Pressure by Simmons.
Was outstanding job just right down Main Street. No one picks up the pressure, and it forces the errant throw there from King. Nice job there. Elijah Robinson dialing up some pressure, showing that aggressiveness, and getting the veteran quarterback flustered from the pocket.
Moultrie Goddard was the other Syracuse player in the backfield. On 2nd and 10, King will run it, and he's able to push the pile down to the 22. It'll be 2 yards short of a first down after the 8-yard run.
Well, I'd be surprised if we don't see something similar here. Earlier, they were inside the 5-yard line. They did not elect to go to Haynes King, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. Next to impossible to stop Haynes King on the ground in these short yardage situations.
King will keep it himself, and he gets grabbed backside and did not get the first down. Moultrie Goddard made the play for the Orange, and it's 4th down, and Georgia Tech will keep the offense out there.
This is a no-brainer here for Brent Key, and he prides himself on these type of situations. And to be honest, though, I know Haynes King got stopped on 3rd down. I expect him to go back to him here on this 4th down.
3 of 8 on the season on 4th down. King will throw, and he's got a man, and he's got a touchdown. Josh Beetham, who dropped the football on the last drive, scores this time. Just the 5th touchdown pass for Haynes King this year, 15th overall, and the first touchdown grab for Josh Beetham. And the point after makes it 10-3, Yellow Jackets.
Well, it's what we've talked about all day, okay? Counter action. Tight end's gonna pull back here. What it's gonna do is gonna bring the eyes of these defenders. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna sneak the tight end out the backside. Play action counter. Defense sells out to stop it. Tight end's wide open. They're not dropping this one, and it's a touchdown for the Yellow Jackets.
Yes. Thank you. Great job.
ESPN College Football, presented by Serve Pro, is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work.
Homecoming at Georgia Tech. And the Yellow Jackets have their first lead of the game. They lead Syracuse 10-3. Yellow Jackets ranked 7th. And they're 7-0 for the first time since 1966. They had an unbeaten season in 1990, but they were 5-0-1 at one point that year. Tyreek Hill on the return for Syracuse, and he does not make it to the 25. Here's Matt Berry in the studio. Got a safety and up 12-10 on OU. Look at the offense for Syracuse after that 41-yard run on the first play from scrimmage and a touchdown saving tackle by Kyle Efert at the 1-yard line. And the quarterback taking off Ricky Collins. That's their best play offensively since the first play, a 12-yard run for Collins.
Well, get going with the legs of the quarterback. I love the block. Watch here by the center, 73, Joshua Miller, and then the running back, Yasin Willis, gets up to the second level, couple of key blocks. I think Ricky Collins is a good runner in open space. Keep going to that.
Willis gets belted at the point of attack by Kamen Spalding, has really come on for Georgia Tech.
Kamen Spalding flying downhill. As you mentioned, Dave, he is really coming on. They've added more and more to his presence on this defense, on the third down package. It's kind of become a mainstay, and really nice job coming down with physicality, filling that hole.
59 rushing yards, but only 5 passing yards for Ricky Collins. They go empty here for Collins, and he'll swing it out in space. Willis gets a good block out there, and Willis has a first down.
Well, finally a little rhythm to this offense. Easy throw, get Willis the football outside. How about Dan Villari outside, setting this edge, the big tight end. We haven't called his name in the pass game, but getting involved and getting a key block to spring Willis.
Trying to simplify things for Collins, and it's working on this drive. Tech will bring pressure here, and Collins in trouble and sacked back at the 40-yard line. Tried to step up, but Jordan Vandenberg was there for Tech.
They're going to bring a lot of pressure. 7 coming, but the defensive tackle, watch him work around the offensive guard. Jordan Vandenberg, boy, just really good, getting low, getting that rip high, and getting Ricky Collins to the ground. Blake Gideon, first-year defensive coordinator, told us he wants to get Ricky Collins uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable there on first down.
Lost 5 yards. Now they'll rush 4, and Collins in trouble again. Flag down. Collins completes the pass to midfield to Washington Baker, but let's see Now check that Nixon on the catch.
Holding. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
That's on Miller, who's replacing Austin Collins, who got hurt against Pitt as the starting center.
Well, Dave, right now, Jordan Vandenberg starting to take over this game. Watch him just work inside. He's going to draw this hold on Joshua Miller, just getting vertical, getting up the field. And it draws a flag for a hold. Now this offense just way backed up here on 2nd and 25.
It's the worst thing when you got a quarterback who's turnover prone and struggling to get off schedule like this and be in 2nd and 25. Collins will take off, and he gets popped at the 35-yard line by Omar Daniels. Only a 4-yard run.
Omar Daniels just squaring up Ricky Collins, and he's had a lot of big moments already this season. Go back to the Clemson game on the goal line with a big pick, a 95-yard scoop and score last week. Veteran presence in the back end of that defense, and some really nice form tackle.
Collins on 3rd and 21 just checks it down. They get 8 yards, but they're well short of the line to gain with Nixon making the catch. 4th down and about 12, and so Syracuse will punt, but they'll try to flip the field here with their veteran Jack Stonehouse.
A couple of things worked there on that drive. Good quarterback run. They called the design quarterback draw. Little swing pass to Yasin Willis, getting Ricky Collins involved as a runner. Easy throws and getting the ball to their big running back. I think that's going to be something they need to continue to build off of moving forward.
And Stonehouse with the wind at his back. It hits at the 2. And the Orange able to keep it from going into the end zone. And now they're saying touchback. They're saying the ball crossed the plane, and it's a touchback.
On the field is a touchback.
Well, this was so close to being perfect by Jack Stonehouse.
It's the long snapper down there, Ethan Stengel. But once it crosses the plane in the air, it is a touchback. And you see on the far side there on the goal line, the other official, the back judge initially ruled, he's right there in your screen, that it was down at the 1, but the other official said touchback.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Kicking team number 17. 15-yard penalty enforced from the end of the kick.
Boy.
Wow. First down, Georgia Tech.
That is a double whammy for Syracuse. Jaleel Martin, the guilty man. So you think you got him pinned at the 1. Instead, they're going to have the ball on the 35-yard line.
Very difficult situation there for Fran Brown. I mean, you go from potentially have them all the way backed up and feeling like you've flipped the field, and now Georgia Tech going to have prime real estate to start this drive.
Midway point of the 2nd quarter. Got to think if Georgia Tech scores another touchdown, it's going to put Syracuse in a really tough spot. But when you're struggling to move the ball and put points on the board on offense, you got to live in a 1-score world, and we'll see if Syracuse can keep it that way. But Haynes King with the hot hand. Touchdown pass on the last drive. They also got him involved in the run game more in that last possession. Play action. King setting up, gets hammered, and his pass is caught nonetheless at the Syracuse 40-yard line, but it came out at the end. Canyon couldn't hang on. Big hit by Deuce Chestnut downfield. And also King took a shot as he released the pass.
Well, how about the shot that Deuce Chestnut's able to deliver here to dislodge this football from Isaiah Canyon, who's put together an excellent season, and you touched on it. Big hit on Haynes King, hard play action, and a big hit there by Tank Wilson. Pad popping there by Syracuse. That's a huge play down the field to negate that explosive pass.
Rolling of an incomplete catch is under review.
You saw the receiver juggling it, Isaiah Canyon, but they're going to go to the ACC Game Day Operations Center to see if he controlled it. Didn't look like it, though.
Should be a pretty quick review there.
Replay alpha was a good look, or Bravo rather.
No control yet.
Yeah,
Hey,
John.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete catch.
Okay, thank you. So John, we're going to show you the high left end zone.
Yes, sir.
We're going to Bill is showing that ball. We're not going to be able to have control yet. The player's going to get the ball. He's going to be contacted. He doesn't finish the process of the catch and maintain control throughout here. By the time he gets control, he's going to be out of bounds. Therefore, the ruling on the field is upheld of an incomplete pass. Are we all in agreement?
Is upheld. I agree.
Incomplete pass.
I agree.
Thanks, guys.
And it's so great to be able to listen in on the Game Day Operations Center. Here's referee John Noley, who's on the Dusty Dvorak workout
on the
plan.
field is upheld. It's second down.
How do you know a workout plan the white hat and myself are on,
I'm
Dave?
just making a point that, you know, the dude's jacked.
I didn't see
Not Ed Hockley level, but it's, you know, Dusty Dvorak level.
I didn't see you in the gym this morning.
I was there actually before you.
Yeah, right. Not in the buffet line, Dave. In the gym.
Second and 10 for Georgia Tech on its 35-yard line.
You're so right about the command center. The ACC, you know, just that transparency that we now have, it needs to be a staple across all of college football.
Yeah, would love to see every conference go into that. It's just great theater for the viewer at home. King going through his reads and completes the pass to the 40-yard line for a 5-yard gain. Jordan Allen got taken down by Antoine Delorier, the true freshman linebacker for Syracuse.
I'd like to see Syracuse get aggressive here. Third medium situation. Now the playbook's wide open for Buster Faulkner, but we get a fresh set of defensive tackles in the game for Syracuse. A lot of bodies at the line of scrimmage here for Elijah Robinson.
King throwing at the last second, dumping it off for a first down to Luke Harpring, whose dad Matt played in the NBA for 10 years. Pickup of 7.
Look at a motion Harpring across the formation and a good play action. I love the read by Haynes King and an easy dump down once again to Harpring. The best of these tight ends pass catching. They go 3, and tight end such a big piece of this offense. You'll see Luke Harpring. We've seen Josh Beetham, also JT Byrne, 88, more the physical inline blocker, but they play a huge piece in this offense.
Back to the Ronan Haynes. Oh, what a move in the backfield. But he didn't get a whole lot on the play, but he shook Devin Grant. Got a yard. Second and long.
One thing that I've really liked about Jamal Haynes this year, we asked about Malachi Hosley coming in and taking some of those reps, and the staff told us that he's been extremely embracing of Hosley and a true team player.
Pass caught by Stockton to the 45-yard line, short of a first down. 3rd down and 3. Play of the game right here for Syracuse's defense, although you'd have to think Georgia Tech is going to run 2 plays. If they can't get the first down here, they're going to keep the offense out there.
Love to
run it out here.
They love to run Haynes King at these empty formations.
Haynes motioning into the backfield. They hand it to him on the jet sweep. He's got the first down and ahead of steam. Hand fighting with the defender and out of bounds at the 25, a 20-yard gain.
Well, just good blocking on the perimeter. This time it's Luke Harpring lined up outside. Gets a key block to help spring Jamal Haynes in the open space. Man, these running backs are so quick and so difficult to deal with in the open space.
Now it's Allen on the jet sweep. And he's thrown forward by Samuel on a gain of 8 on the play. As Georgia Tech is now in the red zone. They are number 9 in the country in red zone offense.
Attacking the perimeter, attacking the edges of this Syracuse defense and having a ton of effectiveness on this drive.
the middle. Hosley pushed back, but he got the first down at the 13-yard line.
He's only 5'10", but he's 205 and bringing every bit of it to the table there. Good physical piece of running from Malachi Hosley.
He's got a couple of 100-yard games this season, including a $129 against Virginia Tech. Yellow Jackets ranked 7th, up 7, and looking to add to the advantage. King dumping it off. It's Beetham looking for his second touchdown. And they mark him down at the 2-yard line. Actually at the 1, first and goal.
Well, it's going to be very close. We'll see if Beetham's able to get in. Gets chopped down. Where's that foot? He's in. Where's the ball at?
That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. I think he's over. I think they're going to take a look at this. I think it's going to be the second touchdown for Josh Beetham.
So we'll go to the game day operations center for the ACC again here. Left foot in. And again, looks like the ball crossed the plane before
Really
that left foot touched the sideline.
Short of the goal line.
Okay, John, look at this shot right here. I've got the left foot is inbounds. That was the close one. His next body part down is going to be that same left toe. It hits right there. At that point, that ball is across the goal line. Let me see if I can get a side look at it. That shows that ball.
So the ruling on the field is short, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So when we showed that view, we can see that that foot is inbounds. Would you agree, Bill?
Yes, sir.
I would agree as well.
And then we can then allow for a continuous action. So on this, we're going to see this, that the ball then comes in, and we are going to see that the ball is going to come. We have to determine if he goes over the pylon or inside the pylon here. So if we go back to that look on the far handheld. So this one here, we're going to be able to look at this to be able to identify whether or not that ball is coming over the pylon.
And his left elbow is inside that pylon, and the ball is towards the middle of the field. So I say we have a touchdown.
We do have a touchdown. I agree with you.
Okay, so we're going to reverse this to a touchdown, John.
Touchdown. I got it. Agreement. I agree.
And our clock is good.
Clock's good.
Because when that second foot, the ball is already over the pylon, so we're good.
Yep.
Okay, so just go back a little bit, John.
Josh.
After review, the ball was over the goal line and the runner was still in bounds. Therefore, it is a touchdown.
So Josh Beetham, who had 3 catches coming in all season, dropped a touchdown in the first quarter, but now has 2 touchdowns here in the second quarter.
Redemption, Dave Pash. Redemption for Josh Beetham.
Straight points for Georgia Tech.
Well, the tight ends have been a huge piece of this offense here today, utilizing play action. Beetham's going to go all the way across. They're going to get play action. It's going to get the linebacker down, safety down, and then this man right here, Devin Grant's in man-to-man coverage. He's not going to be able to get over the top and stay with the tight end. It's another touchdown and a tightrope into the end zone. It's all Yellow Jackets here in Atlanta.
The Taco Bell Live Más student section, only one student section can claim the Live Más student section of the year. Who will take home the trophy this year? You and I were here when they got blown out by Ole Miss 3 years ago, and shortly after that, Jeff Collins was let go. And see that pack of fans right there? Those are the people, the only people that were here at that game against Ole Miss. And look at it now, it's packed. Full house because of what Brent Key and this team have been able to do here in 2025.
It's remarkable, and Brent Key said the fans deserve it, and these players deserve a packed house and a crowd like this. They got something going on here at Georgia Tech right now. There's a buzz about this Yellow Jackets team, pun intended, Pash.
Very good, like that. They're 4-0 in conference play. First time since 1998. They've never started 5-0. You got two other unbeaten teams in conference play. Don't sleep on SMU, a playoff team from last year. Louisville and Pitt, two other teams with big wins
keep an eye on them.
against Miami and Florida State, respectively.
We saw Louisville, Miami last week. I'm not giving up on Miami. Louisville is for real. Jeff Brom is an outstanding coach. SMU, Dave, has not lost yet in ACC play now 2 years in the league. They went undefeated in the regular season last year, undefeated again this year. It's going to be a fun ACC race.
Tyreek Hill busting it to the outside. Boy, that will help an inexperienced quarterback that's really struggling in Ricky Collins, who took over in the Clemson game for the injured Steve Angeli, who was out for the season. And Angeli was playing so well. Syracuse knocked off Clemson that day, but since then it's been a complete reversal for the offense.
He said when they lost Steve Angeli, Fran Brown that is, it broke the team. It broke the coaches, and a lot of long faces, and he's been doing the best he can to keep the energy, keep the positivity up, but it was a gut punch when they lost their quarterback, Steve Angeli.
Hill wrapped up after a gain of about 3. Angeli was at Notre Dame last year, the backup to Riley Leonard. Actually got to play a little bit in the college football playoff, and here's what he did this season before that Achilles injury.
Yeah, he was great in that semifinal game against Penn State. That final drive before halftime led to a field goal, and well, he was outstanding here early on in this season, and it affects everybody, not just the offense but the defense, and they're trying to find their way since they've lost their quarterback, Steve Angeli.
Hill straight ahead, 4 yards, so put him in 3rd down and 4, 3-minute mark, second quarter. Kyle Eford on the stop.
And they've got to find a way to convert this, because I do think Georgia Tech will be very aggressive if they force this stop here to get the ball back and go try to add more points here before the halftime.
And 4-down territory for Syracuse at this point, right? You can't give the ball back to Jordan. The defense isn't stopping them either.
They've got to move the football. I'd love to see Ricky Collins on the perimeter.
Instead, he's in the pocket. He spins away from a defender and now takes off and will get the first down before he scoots out of bounds in Georgia Tech territory. John Mitchell had pressure. Collins made a nice move.
They're going to bring corner pressure. It's going to come from out of your screen here, and it's going to be Mitchell unscathed. Really nice job by Ricky Collins feeling that pressure, spinning out, and utilizing that speed, that mobility on the perimeter, pick up a much-needed first down.
That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout.
He led Georgia
And that game follows us here on ESPN from Nashville. Room for Nixon. Brought down at the 40, an 8-yard gain. It was 3-0 Syracuse. They got a takeaway on the first possession, but could not punch it in. It was their first lead since the Clemson game, their last win. Look at the difference in passing yards. 24 for Syracuse, 157 and 2 touchdowns for King. Another run play up the middle, and Nixon does not get the first down. 4-down territory, one would have to assume. 3rd down and short here.
Did a nice job on the ground game here, finding some space. I'd expect they keep it on the ground. Little quarterback sneak coming.
Collins surges ahead. Going to be close. Appears to be short. It's 4th down.
Oh, wow. Looked to me like it looked like he got enough. That second surge, I thought he was able to get forward and get that ball across.
And the snap high, but a timeout taken before the snap.
The previous play is under review.
Yeah.
So they'll look at it. Again, we'll go to the ACC Game Day Operations Center to listen in here.
The field by roll, like his knees down.
Get that clarification.
Ben, did you have him down, his knee down? With the body part down?
Okay, so here I have quarterback. He's on top of body.
Ruling on the field as the runner was short of the line of gain.
His right elbow hits the ground right there, but I don't see where the ball is. His right elbow appears to hit the tick mark of the 38, but I can't see where the ball is in relation to that with the shadows.
Yeah, so we're trying to be able to look at this. If we looked at the sky cam, we can be able to see in this look here, we're going to see that the body parts are up. We're going to see his knees are up. But now with that near cart look, we're trying to be able to identify whether or not he reached the 38. So we're looking. Bill, if we look at that 38-yard line, can we be able to see the ball in relation to that 38-yard line?
Now, Mark, I see his elbow hitting just about exactly at the 38, but I can't tell where the ball is in that shadow. This is short, but I'm not going to have enough to change that.
So what we're going to...
I cannot overrule that to a first down.
So hold on, let's look at this here.
Can we piece two together and get a better look?
This is really tight. I'm trying to be able to identify any one of these. This is just going to be too close. I can't be able to overturn the ruling on the field with this. Are we all in agreement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we're going to upheld the ruling.
Ruling on the field is upheld.
We're going to clock start. Are we good on the clock?
The clock is good. It stopped where it was, so we're in a good place there.
Clock's going to be good. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
After review, the ruling on the field of the runner being short of the line to gain is upheld. It's 4th down.
Jerry McGinn, our rules expert, did you agree with that decision?
Dave, I did. This is a very good example of not to challenge the line to gain because it is so tough. The officials, the replay room, the command center, they went through all the check boxes to make sure, to look at the ball in relation to the field. They just couldn't tell. The shadows were impeding them. So I agree with the replay officials to uphold the call on the field. No first down.
All right, Jerry, Syracuse going for it on 4th down and 1. They give to Nixon, and he's tripped up. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. E.J. Lightsey makes the play, and it'll be Georgia Tech ball with 45 seconds left and 1 timeout to work with.
Well, E.J. Lightsey is going to be shot out of a cannon. Watch him come downhill and make this play on Will Nixon. Great diagnose. Shoots the gap. Take a look down the line of scrimmage. Big 4th down stop. And going to give Haynes King the football back in great field position here before halftime.
Boy, again, look where the ball is in relation to the yellow line. The nose of the ball, again, the yellow line, not official, we have to say that.
Second of the half.
All the nose of the ball has to do is cross that line before the runner's down. It's closer than where the ball has been spotted. Game Day Operations Center, take it away.
A ruling on the field, run was short of the line to gain.
Thank you. John, can you expand the near cart for me? Expand the near cart for me, Bill. Make that big. Please, just click on it. Okay, let's show him this.
Okay, John, here's the elbow down, it's the first body part down. He had to get to the 38. That does not tell me that he's at the 38. I can't prove that I certainly can't show that he's past the 38.
I would agree with that angle.
And then when I put that together with the high 30, the left 30.
Yeah, this is going to be our...
That's a good look, showing the point, his elbows down. He looks clearly short of the 38.
So the ruling on the field is going to be upheld. Would everybody be in agreement?
I'm in agreement, Mark and Bill.
Okay.
Yep.
The ruling on the field is upheld.
Thank you. Our clock.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. That was a 4th down play, right?
Yes.
Correct. And we're going to start on
the clock was stopped. It stays stopped. We're good.
And we're going to.
And we're 46 on the game clock.
Yeah, correct. The field. Yeah.
And Syracuse is not charged a timeout.
Correct.
Let's reset the clock to 47 seconds.
Correct.
He was down at this point. That was
47 or 46?
47.
47.
Hold on, let me check that. Wait, let me check this. This is at the 47. This is good.
Yeah,
47 seconds.
47 seconds.
After further review, the runner was short of the line to gain. It'll be first down, Georgia Tech.
Another benefit for the viewer there is hearing the process, but also everything that goes into a replay, because it's not just about whether you got the first down or not. They've got to get the ball spotted correctly, the clock, what down it is, and you hear him there talk about that it was 4th down play, and therefore the clock stopped at 45 seconds on the change of possession. So they're going to add 2 more seconds. 1 timeout for Georgia Tech. Clock will stop on first downs to reset the chains.
Isaiah Canyon's got great size on the outside. They love to push the football down the field to him. We'll see if they take a shot to him here before halftime.
Instead, they keep it on the ground with Hosley, and he's able to break some ankles and get a first down. Down to the 41-yard line, a gain of about 20.
Full backside guard and tackle. An outstanding job, and you see Hosley hitting it downhill.
Clock starts on the ready for play. King to the sideline and stabbing it to make the catch is Canyon at the 27 for another first down.
Well, how about the back shoulder here and the concentration on the sidelines. Strong hands, goes to the ground. Great catch, Isaiah Canyon.
The question is, did the ball land out of bounds before his foot was down?
Timeout. It'll be 30 seconds. It's their second timeout of the half.
Syracuse called timeout. Would love to see another replay if we can, guys, just to make sure that foot came down first, because when he caught the ball did hit the chalk. As he extended for it, let's see if the foot was down.
He's dragging that right foot, Dave. Foot's down. That's a catch. Looks like he's got his forearms underneath the football. Watch his right foot. Right foot's going to drag. So it's his left foot's dragging. You see the turf coming up.
Oh, what a catch, huh?
That's a big-time catch, and we were standing down there pre-game. He's got a great frame. He's 6'4", he's 215, and you watch him on film, and he looks like a future pro. There was a moment in time, the Clemson game, talking with Buster Faulkner, Isaiah Canyon stepped up and had a great game, and his confidence skyrocketed. And from that moment, I truly believe he felt, I belong here, and I've got a really high ceiling, and we've continued to see that throughout the course of the season. Isaiah Canyon become the go-to guy at wide receiver for this Tech offense.
King with a quick throw out by the edge to Stockton to get a few yards and stop the clock. 20 seconds to go. This is kind of a disastrous situation here for Syracuse. Down 17-3. Georgia Tech moving the ball again, and Fran Brown knowing, given the offensive issues, they can't surrender any more points, and Tech already in field goal range and hoping for more. King loses Stockton. Breaking tackles. A flag is down. Stockton tackled at the 1. 12 seconds left. 2 penalty markers are down at about the 15-yard line. And Georgia Tech walking backwards. That would negate a 25-yard gain if it's on the Yellow Jackets.
Alatupuola, I think, is going to get caught for this 58 to center starting today for Harrison Moore. It's late. Really had no effect on the play.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block. Offense number 58. It's a 15-yard penalty. Replay second down. The foul does include a clock option. It'll start on the ready for play.
And it's unfortunate because Bailey Stockton had already cleared. That was behind him, and it negates a very well executed screen pass to Bailey Stockton.
So they had a second, 13 seconds to go. Still the 1 timeout for Georgia Tech. Second down and 12. Waiting for the clock operator to add a second here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. John Noley, the referee, pleading with the clock operator, who still hasn't added the second. And now the fans are booing the clock operator. Does that button not work? It's still stuck at, now they got a 14. They still can't get it right.
13 seconds. 13 seconds on the game clock, please.
Maybe the 3 button just is stuck.
There we go.
They figured it out. Well done. Better late than never. And now Haynes King taking off. Ton of room. King inside the 10 and down to the 5 with about 4 seconds left. The clock will stop and Georgia Tech will call its last timeout.
Timeout, Georgia Tech.
So now do you kick or do you go for the touchdown?
I mean, I think they're going to go. I think they're going to take points. I think they're going to kick the field goal here, Dave. I think that they want to take a 3-score lead into halftime.
And hard to imagine the way Syracuse's offenses look, whether the lead is 17 or 21, that they have enough to overcome that.
Well, it's a designed quarterback draw. You're going to see Haynes King really just do a nice job finding some space. 67, the left guard, Joe Fusel with a key block. And Haynes King just so dangerous, whether it's low on the shoulder, utilizing the power, or also in the open field, making defenders miss. Once again here today, he has been outstanding. 59 yards on the ground, 183 through the air. It's been the Haynes King show here through 30 minutes of this ball game, Dave.
And Aidenberg made a 22-yarder earlier. We'll try a 20-yarder earlier. We'll try a 22-yarder, and that's good. So it's now 20-3. There's 1 second left, and there's an injured Georgia Tech player. Peyton Joseph, but he is up and on his feet.
We talked about it's been the Haynes King show, and here's just a glimpse of what he's been able to do here today. It started early in the ball game. We told you what was coming. Some quarterback counter. Let's fake the toss outside. Let's pull the backside guard, Rutledge, and get up between the tackles. for a big game. We've also seen him impact this game with his arm, utilizing the tight ends in play action. You draw those defenders down. No one accounts for the tight end, Josh Beatham. That was the first time. There's the second time. Oh, by the way, Beatham also dropped a touchdown pass as well. The efficiency has been excellent here today for Haynes King. Almost flawless. And already, Dave, in this ball game, right around 250 yards of total offense. He has been outstanding. Coming into the game, the only quarterback to average 190 through the air and 90 on the ground. And we're seeing him making his impact felt both through the air and on the ground.
He had 4 passing touchdowns all year coming in. 2 more in this game. Hill on the return with the clock at 0, and the half is over. It was 3-0 Syracuse. Can Syracuse find some offense? Only 3 completions for 24 yards from their quarterback, Ricky Collins. They'll start on their 25. Taylor McGregor had a chance to catch up with both coaches at halftime.
Dave, I'll begin with Brent Key. He was livid at halftime. He said we should have 2 more touchdowns on the board. He said we've made 5 huge mistakes. I don't feel like our guys are locked in or focused. So we'll see how that cleans up here in the second half. And then as for Syracuse, as you can imagine, it was all about the offense. They really want to establish the run game, but they're sticking with Ricky Collins. And Fran Brown saying the offensive line has to play better. We'll see how that goes here as well, Dave.
Yeah, a lot of pressure that that offensive line gave up. Collins was sacked twice. And under duress on many more pass plays. But he has time to throw here. And he will take a shot. And coming back to make the catch is Jonte Cook, who was open deeper as he beat the corner. Had to come back for that ball and still picks up about 40 yards.
When no one accounts for Jonte Cook down the field, and he's got excellent speed, and Georgia Tech just completely loses him. And you see the arm strength and a nice job of Ricky Collins driving the football down the field to an open Cook.
He definitely has the arm talent. Sometimes the accuracy and decision-making an issue. Another strike thrown, and this is going to be a touchdown with Darrell Gill Jr. breaking free, and Syracuse finds itself back in it. And that has to do wonders for Ricky Collins' confidence.
They just lose Jonte Cook on this first one. Jonte Cook's calling for it. He's calling for it finally, able to locate him. And on the second touchdown to Emmanuel Ross, the safety late to get over the top. And this is just a strike fired by Ricky Collins. A little RPO action. Linebackers come up. Safety's late to get Gill to the ground. Darrell Gill Jr. with the touchdown reception. And wow, for an offense that was asleep the entire first half throwing the football, the strike down the field to Cook and the touchdown pass to Darrell Gill Jr. Life coming out from halftime from the Syracuse offense.
Zachary Tobey, the injured Georgia Tech player. But a 2-play drive with some good throws from Ricky Collins. Well, Fran Brown told us one of his strengths is relating to players. He knows that if a guy's down, he can build him back up. He's not afraid to get after guys. We saw that after they nearly lost to Connecticut, and after the game they're doing sprints in the dome. And Ricky Collins is responding, and that could be big for Syracuse because it's his show the rest of the way this season with Steve Angeli out for the year.
There's no doubt, and he has not given up on this team. Fran Brown has stayed locked in. He's doing whatever he can to get the most out of his team and get the most out of his quarterback, Ricky Collins. You went to Syracuse. Did you ever have to run sprints after a broadcast?
Yes, if we had too many stumbles during a game, we were told after, yes, you have to run sprints. And there were other terrible hazing that we had to undergo as broadcasters at Syracuse. 20-10.
The incredibly illustrious group of broadcasters that have come through the Cuse. My great partner, Mr. Pash, one of many, but I would love to go back and see how you guys conditioned after a poor performance up in the booth.
And we had to gargle salt water a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, work on our breathing techniques.
Oh, speaking of, there he is right there.
With hair.
A nice set of hair.
Yeah, proof that it exists, even though it was 30 years ago.
Very nice, Mr. Pass. And you went on to, you were the voice of the Orange there for a little bit.
And actually, yeah, the last time they beat a top 10 team on the road, I actually called that game as their play-by-play announcer. In 2001, they beat Virginia Tech on the road that year.
What a great start to this second half. That's got to do wonders for Ricky Collins and his confidence. It was non-existent in the first half, but much alive here to start the second.
Well, keep in mind, on the first offensive play, Syracuse got tackled at the 1 and had to settle for a field goal because of penalties. Imagine if they had scored on that play. It'd be 20-14, be a one-possession game here early in the third. As it is, down 10, and now Haynes King going to work. So Syracuse's offense did its part. Can the defense do something now?
We touched on it. It was all Haynes King in the first half. But really, to me, the balance of this offense, they threw for 183. They ran for 139, 322 yards. They really had their way with the Syracuse defense.
King checking it down. Nice catch by Haynes. Is an excellent receiver. 16 catches on the year coming in. A gain of 13 before he steps out.
When nobody accounts for Jamal Haynes out of the backfield, they play action to him. He continued down the sidelines on a wheel route, and just a completely blown coverage by Syracuse.
Now Haynes will run here. And he gets chopped to the ground to the 41 after a gain of 3. Demetrius Samuel and Delorier in there for the Orange.
The way they utilize the running backs, the tight ends, the receivers on the screens, really just incorporate everybody getting touches on this offense. It's hard for a defense to account for all that, especially when there's motion shift and so much eye candy pre-snap.
Off play action. Haynes stepping up and sacked back at the 35-yard line. Kevin Jovity, who had 3 sacks against Pitt a week ago.
Well, Jovity's going to be here on the inside, but it's going to be Reese also that forces Haynes King to step up. Jovity's going to get the sack, but it's David Reese that forces Haynes King to move, and goodbye Jovity staying active and getting Haynes King to the ground.
You mentioned David Reese. This is his 8th season of college football. Blitz coming. King in trouble, being chased. Throws it up for grabs and coming back to make the catch and getting the first down. All the way to the 50-yard line is Zion Taylor. Wow, 3rd and 12. Haynes King keeps the play alive and moves the sticks.
I mean, just floats that football up, and Zion Taylor working back to the ball, making an outstanding play. This pressure is going to come right here on Haynes King. It's going to get to him almost immediately, and Haynes King retreats, buys time, floats that ball up in the air, and an awesome individual effort by Taylor.
Hosley downhill, breaking tackles, running hard, and moving a pile near the line to gain at the 40-yard line.
You see that spin move at the end of that, Dave, and that was one thing that really stood out on tape. He utilizes that spin move so well right there on contact as he makes the initial defender miss. Boom. Spins and spins forward, and excellent yards after contact.
No, 2nd down and inches. And Tech will pound it and get the first down. Mosley tossed to the ground by Omo Pariola. Cornell Perry in there as well.
We saw an outstanding 1-2 punch when we had Notre Dame earlier this season, and what that backfield does, but there aren't many in college football, and I haven't seen any in the ACC like Malachi Hosley, Jamal Haynes. And when you add on Haynes King, it's really a 1-2-3 punch. Boy, it's rare what they have here at Georgia Tech.
And a screen set up here to Patterson. He breaks free, stays in bounds, dives and hits the pylon. It's a touchdown for Tech. Great response by Haynes King and the Yellow Jackets. That is a touchdown, and just think, they were in 3rd and 12. And it looked like Haynes King might get sacked, but he somehow scrambled out of trouble, completed a pass. It's a touchdown after they were able to convert that 3rd and 12, although they'll look at it, but look pretty clear to us. Go to the ACC command center.
Ruling on the field was a touchdown, Bill.
Okay, John, we have a possible foot out at the 9. That's what we're looking at there.
Yeah.
The other, if he clears the 9, we've got a touchdown.
All right.
But
we have a sideline look. We have a look down the sideline.
Bravo,
right
take a look at Bravo there.
Bravo.
So right now,
it's not that. It's
Bravo
never mind.
gets us there a little too late.
Yep.
So we're just trying to be, the ruling on field is a touchdown. We're just trying to identify whether or not that foot goes out at the 9-yard line or not. And right now we're looking at that high left end zone that Bill is showing you. Yeah. We're not able to tell enough whether or not that foot is out there. So let's show that, Bill, right here.
Right there.
It's questionable, but we don't have enough to be able to overturn.
See, on this angle, it looks in. So
yeah.
I don't have anything that's going to show that out. I say we uphold the ruling on the field of a touchdown.
I would concur with you, John. Are you in agreement right now?
I'm in agreement with both of you. Thank you.
Thank you. The ruling on the field is upheld.
Upheld. Thank you.
Thank you.
After review, the ruling of a touchdown is upheld.
This is why Georgia Tech is dangerous. Again, most quarterbacks, most teams are punting because Haynes King isn't most quarterbacks. But he made that great play to keep that play alive on 3rd and 12, somehow find a receiver, move the chains, and eventually they get in the end zone. And they're back up by 16 with the point after coming.
Just buy some time, trust your receivers, and make a play. And he's been making plays all season long.
God, it's been through a lot. Injuries and benching while he was at Texas A&M as there are flags down. And then struggled early on at Tech through 16 picks 2 years ago, but last year just 2. And a Player of the Year candidate in the conference this year. The extra point was good, but again, flags down. And all the players are off the field right now, so got to imagine it's on Syracuse. Les Brent-Key wants to take a point off the board and put his offense out there and go for 2.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12-minute formation. The penalty is declined. The try is good.
Well, let's look at that Dean Patterson screen pass for a touchdown. The left side of the offensive line. McKinney getting outside with a key block. It's Fusel with a block here, and then it's a touchdown for Patterson to the house. The offensive line is such a key for this offense. They get big guys on little guys and fast guys on the sideline. Georgia Tech all over Cuse here today.
Haynes King, 5 incompletions, 3 touchdowns. And remember, he had only 4 passing touchdowns coming into the game. Not that Georgia Tech had trouble scoring. They just scored on the ground all the time, including King with 10 rushing touchdowns, most among quarterbacks and 3rd most among all players in college football. When Syracuse gets it back, they'll likely have a more confident quarterback than Ricky Collins after that 2-play drive in the last score. He will start this drive on the 25 after the touchback. Collins, who spent 2 years at LSU behind Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier, started the last 4 games because of the injury to Steve Angeli. He hit Darryl Gill for a 34-yard touchdown after the long pass to Jonte Cook to start the drive.
Accurate throws. You saw the arm strength, both essentially line drives down the field. We'll see exactly how Ricky Collins can build off that early second half success.
And it's play action. And Collins takes off. Brought down around the 35-yard line, or 30-yard line, rather, gain of 5. Here's Taylor.
Starting nose tackle for Georgia Tech, Matthew Alexander, is out for the rest of the game. This in addition to Akilo Stone, who was the backup nose, who's also out. And then also Zachary Toby, who we saw injured when Georgia Tech was on defense previously, is still in the tent. So some injuries to the defense for Georgia Tech, guys.
And they had injuries on the defense coming in, Taylor, with Amari Harvey and Jai Gilmore, their leader on defense, not available today. Willis in trouble in the backfield. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Clayton Powell-Lee, along with Lightsey in there for Georgia Tech.
There's also backside Rodney Shelley coming off the edge. He's going to come right here and help make this play. Really good defense all the way across the board. Nice job of that backside pursuit by Shelley, setting up 3rd down. Late Gideon going to try to dial up some pressure here on Ricky Collins.
Collins throws behind the sticks, and Cook will not get the 1st down. And now Fran Brown has a decision to make on 4th and 2.
I think from his own side of the field, my gut is he's going to punt this football. Still early in this 3rd quarter. Punt team's going to come out. Really good pursuit by that entire Georgia Tech defense, converging on Jonte Cook and not allowing much yards after the catch.
Bailey Stockton deep, Stonehouse to punt. Kicking into the wind. Stonehouse has a very strong leg. But that ball gets hung up in the wind. You can just see it die. That thing was a moon ball, though. But the fair catch made around the 35 at Georgia Tech after a 42-yard punt.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
They passed Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor in Atlanta. Haynes King with 3 passing touchdowns and going to work again here. Taylor has more on this young man's story.
Dave, Haynes King has had a memorable season on the field for Georgia Tech, all while battling some serious stuff off the field. His dad and his greatest mentor, John King, who's a legendary high school football coach in the state of Texas, was diagnosed with mouth cancer before the team's Week 1 game at Colorado. He initially underwent a procedure to remove the tumor, but they found another piece, and he's still going through radiation, but he is still here supporting his son here today. And when we asked Haynes King about it, he said, when I found out, the first thing my dad wanted me to know is that I still had a job to do quarterbacking this Yellow Jackets team.
Hosley with a huge hole, and he's to the 38-yard line of Syracuse. Well, Haynes King, it was interesting because we met with him. We had their game at Colorado, and we didn't know, but at the time he did know what his dad was going through. The diagnosis had just happened, and he was just as enjoyable to talk to and professional as he was when we talked to him just a few days ago. And now that his dad's been dealing with this for a couple of months. Just really a joy to talk to, and he's overcome a ton through injuries and being benched as Rivers makes the catch and is spun down to the 31.
And his dad, a former lineman, also his football coach, and so he told us that now getting a chance to work with a guy like Brent Key, he said it's brought him back home to who he really is. We see so many parallels and similarities to his father and Brent Key. It's really brought them closer. Another thing I love that he told us about his dad is how much he challenged him. He used to call him a wuss and challenge him in every aspect of his life. And he says that competitive drive, that toughness that he has, all comes from the way his dad pushed him and raised him.
Haynes loses 4 yards. Let's check in with Taylor for more on Haynes King.
It's funny, Dusty, because so many people around Georgia Tech will just describe Haynes King as tough. And he says it's almost hard for me to hear because growing up, my dad told me I was everything but tough. Yet it was the way his dad raised him that he has been able to show the grit, the toughness that embodies everything Georgia Tech football is about.
Well, the leadership that he brings to the table, he showed to the entire team in training camp because he slept in the locker room. He set up shop there, had a bed and everything, and he slept for several nights in a row in the locker room. King lobbing it downfield, and he has a completion inside the 10 to stop it. Brought down at the 2-yard line. Another great pass by Haynes King.
With moving to his right and just continues to put the ball right where it needs to be. A lot of air underneath that and allowing his receiver, Bailey Stockton, the ability to adjust and make a great catch.
He's overcome a fractured ankle, a stress fracture to his lower leg, a shoulder injury that he played through last year for most of the season, missed 2 full games with it. He's finally healthy in 2025, although he did miss 1 game with an injury. He fakes the pitch there, keeps it himself, and he has his quarterback FBS leading 11th rushing touchdown of the season. Only 2 players in the country, period, have more rushing touchdowns than the Georgia Tech quarterback. And we talked about that relationship there with Brent Key, his head coach, the first man to greet him as he comes off the field. Key told us when Haynes King's career is over, they will be best friends. They are that close. And the extra point is good, despite the can being in the way, and it's 34-10.
Well, we showed you this exact play earlier from the Colorado game. Pull backside guard, pull Bird in front, fake the toss here, and it's Haynes King gonna hit it downhill. It's been a staple play this offense all season, and a staple play once again. We heard earlier from Fran Brown, they've got to contain the King. Nobody's containing Haynes King here today.
15th game for Haynes King with a rushing and passing touchdown. And that is a Georgia Tech record. His team up by 24. And Hill elects to return it, straddling the goal line, and he gets tattooed at the 20. There's a flag down.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 19. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Haynes King is one of the great stories in college football, as we just documented during that last segment. So is this guy, Diego Pavia.
He's like a magician, like magic when he's got the football. Extends plays, does so much for this offense. He's got this program believing that they can be a team that competes for an SEC title and a college football playoff spot. Very similar to what Haynes King is doing here in Georgia Tech. To heck with the Heisman, if there is an MVP, most valuable players to their team.
Collins throwing down the seam. What a great pass to Villari.
I don't think there's two players more valuable to their team respectively than Haynes King here at Georgia Tech and Diego Pavia there at Vanderbilt. Both those players embody their teams, and they've got both their teams in great position, believing they can do something special in 2025.
Pass thrown behind Hornsby, incomplete. And you think Vanderbilt is going to be in the college football playoff?
I think they've got, yeah, I do. I'm buying Clark Lee's football team. Physicality and the run game, better on defense, and that magic man at quarterback, very similar to what I see here from Georgia Tech, a team that's outstanding running the ball, got balance on offense, a defense that's been getting better. They were good last week against Duke. We've seen them be good here again today against Syracuse. I think both those teams have a lot of similarities, a lot of ways, and are going to have a great chance to be in the CFP.
Collins in trouble, but was trying to set up a screen, but just too much pressure on him. Vanderbilt still has to go to Austin next week. They still have to go to Knoxville at the end of the year, but that's life in the SEC.
Well, they got to handle Missouri today. Well, yeah, that's no layup either. So listen, not easy, not going to be easy for any of these teams to make the college football playoff. But yeah, you're asking me right now, I like Vanderbilt's chances to find a way to navigate that schedule and make the playoff as we set up a third down for Ricky Collins.
Don't forget A&M and LSU tonight on ABC as a flag flies.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And I've been around you now. We've been doing this for 5 years together. Based off the tone of your voice, you're not buying into Vanderbilt the way that I am.
Not yet. Not yet. I think if they beat Missouri today, then I'll buy Vanderbilt. I want to see it again. I want to see it again today.
Fair enough. LSU was a great win last week. Do they follow it up here today? We shall see. Coming up right after us, they're in Nashville.
Collins gets out of trouble. Still running, spinning, and going to be very close to a first down. As it was 3rd and 15, he's going to be short by 3 yards, but they will go for it.
Got to go for this. I mean, you're down 24. Ricky Collins making something out of nothing. That's a really good individual effort by him. Coverage was good down the field. Pass rush was coming down, and he was just able to make a play.
There's been some growth here in this third quarter from Ricky Collins. You got to be encouraged if you're a Syracuse fan that he's going to continue to improve over the course of the season.
I'd like to see him find his tight end, Dan Villari, here.
Right at the sticks. It's caught by Johnson, Darius Johnson.
Pass 14, Darius Johnson.
And it is a first down.
Was right at the sticks, as you mentioned. It's a good job by Darius Johnson, who's back. He's been out to take that route past the first down marker.
Another sideline throw, just off target, incomplete. Try to hit Darrell Gill Jr. but there's a little bit of a rhythm now that Collins is in. The accuracy has gone up. The numbers drastically better in the second half than the first.
Yeah, he's just never really comfortable. We saw multiple passes sailing on him in the first half, and he came out with really his 2 best passes of the day, those first 2 throws to start this second half. Made some nice plays with his legs, and anything they can do to build that confidence moving forward is crucial here this second half.
Syracuse going to keep it on the ground with Willis. Gets to the outside, out of bounds near the line to gain, about a yard short. Well, Ricky Collins was actually on the team before Steve Angeli. He was the starting quarterback in the spring. He injured his hand during the spring, and then also Steve Angeli signed and transferred from Notre Dame and took the job. Willis again, first down, and down to the 25-yard line.
Really good block there by T.J. Ferguson, the left guard. Really opened up that hole for Yasin Willis. Big downhill running back at 6'1", 235.
Collins pass knocked down. Nice play by the defensive back for Georgia Tech, Rodney Shelley. Stepping in front of Gabe Daniels, the wideout.
With a plant drive from Shelley. Outstanding. Plants that back foot, breaks on the football. And a really good job getting that right hand in, getting the pass deflection.
In trouble. Collins again escapes. He's really good with his feet. We've seen that a few times in this game, and making better decisions when to take off.
Watch the defensive end. He's the looper on this game. He's going to come clean, and Ricky Collins just makes him miss. I mean, drops him all the way to his ankles. Outstanding job there by Collins. That's an untouched defensive end coming right at you, and you freeze him in his tracks and just create a couple of yards on what looked like a guaranteed sack.
Caught short of the marker. Gill tackled. It'll be 4th and about 2, and Syracuse again will go for it.
It's good protection finally. Gave him some time, and he sat there in the pocket. He was patient, allowed that route to come available, and a good find there to set up 4th and short. Will Nixon in the ball game. Very good pass catcher out of the backfield. They love to bring him in on 3rd and 4th down situations as an option to throw the ball to.
He's got 18 catches on the season. They're going to keep it here in the hands of the quarterback as Collins gets drilled by Shelley, but it appears that he got a first down. Yep, first down, Ricky Collins.
First down, but boy, he felt the brunt of it on this. Zone read, and Collins is going to get to the perimeter as Shelley comes in with a big shot.
Ooh, clean hit right on the football. Collins fakes the pitch, and now flag down. Might have been pre-snap.
Before the snap, false start, offense, number 57, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Demetrius Weatherspoon, the right tackle. Syracuse trying to avoid a 4-game losing streak. They did not lose back-to-back games once last year. They went 10-3. 5-3 in conference play, had the big win over Miami late in the season. This year they had the win at Clemson, but a loss to Tennessee. They beat UConn in overtime. Lost to Pitt last week by 17. On 1st and 15, a run play to Hill. Another big hit. And just a gain of 1 or 2 for Hill.
Well, I really like E.J. Lightsey coming downhill. He was an addition, and he's been very good. The Georgia transfer, smart, physical, athletic. What it looks like, and he's putting together a really nice season here for Blake Gideon's defense.
Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Syracuse trying to keep any hope whatsoever of getting back in the game alive here on this possession. As again, the quarterback Collins taking off, and the ball is stripped. You saw a couple players, Jason Moore leading the way, coming in to rip the ball free, and it's recovered by the Yellow Jackets. Jordan Boyd comes up with it.
Well, Dave, when you've got a player held up, somebody needs to be ripping at the football, and that's exactly what 95 Jason Moore does. Great effort to the ball. Lightsey wraps him up. Moore comes in second, rips that ball away, and it's a takeaway for this Yellow Jackets defense. Exactly how you practice it during the week. First defender comes in to secure the tackle. Second guy ripping away at the football. And Blake Gideon, the first-year defensive coordinator, going to love that.
One more snap likely here before we go to the 4th quarter with Georgia Tech in full control. Jamal Haynes gets a carry. Now check that Maddox was the ball carrier. Picks up 3. We'll see if Tech snaps it again.
We have to go finish.
Thank you, Coach. Dave?
Well, they've done that very well this year. They're trying to set up a screen here to Allen that doesn't go anywhere on 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, they've been one of the best 4th quarter teams all season. And when you think about the Colorado game, the Clemson game, what they were able to do last week in that Duke game in the 4th quarter, and of course the game at Wake, they have finished as well as anybody. And to me, that's him just continuing to push this football team and have no slippage whatsoever. Though they're in control of this game, he wants to see them keep their foot on the accelerator.
They'll run it on 3rd down and 9. And Maddox brought down to the 20, so this is going to be a punt.
Brent Key played for George O'Leary. Then he coached for George O'Leary, said he's had a huge impact. And then he worked for Nick Saban in Alabama. And now we've met with him 2 different times. You can hear some of those Sabanisms coming out in him, and you know how he's handling his team when they're having success, and how to still demand more and continue to get better, not let that rat poison seep in. He's really turning into one of the best coaches in the ACC.
Just the 2nd punt of the day by Georgia Tech. And Davian Kerr fumbles the ball. Syracuse did jump on it back at the 10-yard line. Kerr got it back after coughing it up.
Well, I'll tell you, Josh Beetham's made a couple of big touchdown catches. Now a big hit on special teams.
Lost comm.
Hello? Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we heard you the whole time.
Can you hear us? Okay.
You can hear me now? Okay. Bill, you can hear me here? Make sure.
Wow.
The nightmare scenario is starting to unfold. Ole Miss for touchdown. How much time's left? Oh, poor Otto. Poor Otto. He's just struggling today. Nothing to celebrate. Our college football rankings brought to you by Prudential. Look what Indiana's doing to UCLA. My goodness.
They are really good, Dave. They might be the best team in college football.
Ohio State not playing. Ole Miss actually just took the lead, so that just changed a second ago in Norman against Oklahoma. Games on ABC. And Collins throwing on first down, and the catch is made out of the 23 by Gill. And it's a first down pickup.
Well, it's a really good adjustment by Gill. That pass had real velocity on it behind him. He adjusts and makes this catch.
Another pass play for Collins. And has to dump it off to Willis. Gain of 6 to the 28.
That's what the 6 against Steve Willis.
We are having some technical issues, so that's why everything you are seeing right now is coming from our sky cam. As Willis is brought down to the 32.
And also the 6 against Steve Willis.
Melvin Jordan. Is a first down though.
First and 10 for the 33.
Well, Georgia Tech will go to Raleigh next week to face NC State. That will not be an easy game. Dave Doran's team will fight hard as the catch is made here by Willis out of the backfield. They also have to go to Boston College, although it's been a miserable year for the Eagles. That'll be after a bye. Then they play Pitt, and with Mason Heinschel now at quarterback for Pitt.
He's been excellent, Dave. He's changed everything for Pitt.
And obviously Georgia.
Which I know people look at that and it says 20%. The last 2 years since Brent Key's been the head coach, they've given Georgia all they want and some. What was it, 8 overtimes last season on Black Friday, an extremely memorable game, and one that, for a large majority of that game, Georgia Tech was the better team. Georgia just found a way to win. Now that game comes back here in Bobby Dodd. That's going to be a big game there Thanksgiving Day weekend.
Will be interesting. Obviously, we've got some more time that has to pass here. As Collins throws incomplete, trying to hit Villari. What the committee thinks of Georgia Tech when that first ranking comes out, because just because they're number 7 in the AP poll, the committee may come back and say, well, we think they're 12th. I mean, we don't know how they view Georgia Tech. And what would you say is their best win right now? Duke?
Probably Duke on the road last week. I mean, look, Clemson, not the same Clemson that we thought they were when they beat them in week number 3. I think the biggest thing is just the way this team is built, put together, and offensively, the balance they have, and the quarterback pulling the trigger, and Haynes King.
Blitz coming, and Collins saw it and rushed the throw.
But you make a fair point. We're going to talk resumes, and they're going to be comparing resumes, and how does that committee feel about what they're going to be able to do. We'll get those first rankings once we hit November. So it should be a week from this upcoming Tuesday, and we'll start to get a sense of how they look and how they feel about this team.
But just the fact that even with a win and you're 8-0, the playoff predictor says you only have a 46% chance, less than 50 as an unbeaten team to make the playoff. There's only 6 unbeatens left. That pass caught but short of the line to gain, going to be 4th down. Although now the head linesman, actually, to the dismay of the fans, and they're booing that spot, actually giving the first down. He moved forward a yard. And that gave the Cuse a first down. Well, the resume will get better, assuming they win in Raleigh, and then the Pitt, and obviously if they were to knock off Georgia. In trouble again, and Collins somehow escapes again, but then tackled by Vandenberg at the 43.
Well, it's a really good rush off the edge. Braden Manley. He's going to come off the edge and win over Witherspoon, the right guard. Good job dipping and turning that corner. He went for the strip, went for that football, and Collins once again evades that initial pressure, and Vandenberg gets into the ground.
And Manley is the one that's shaken up for Georgia Tech.
What is going on? That was not the. Was that not?
ESPN College Football is presented by ServPro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration, and in part by Verbo, vacation rentals done right.
3 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown for Haynes King, the Georgia Tech quarterback. 2 passing touchdowns to Beetham, the tight end. Our college football headlines presented by Twisted Tea. 6 unbeatens left, including Georgia Tech. And Vanderbilt in the top 10 for the first time since 1947. Plays Missouri up next year on ESPN from Nashville. And the catch made by Ross Simmons right at the mark, about a half yard short.
See a much improved Ricky Collins here in this second half. Valuable reps he's getting here. And remember, when he was at LSU, he was purely a backup.
Will Nixon picks up the first down again because of technical difficulties. We're showing you everything from the sky cam. That's the only camera that we have operating right now.
He's a backup to Jaden Daniels his first year, backup to Garrett Nussmeier his second year. Saw very few snaps of game action. So these last 3 games, really the experience in all of college football Ricky Collins has had.
And he throws one outside. The chalk marks trying to hit Emmanuel Ross downfield.
Pass just sails on him a little bit. Ross never really had any chance to make a play on that football.
Syracuse plays North Carolina next. The Tar Heels are actually tied with Virginia, which is ranked 16th in the country in the fourth quarter. Collins flutters that ball, and it's caught on the redirection by Darrell Gill. And then Gill fumbles it, and Syracuse got it back.
Wow. A wild play here unfolding. The big gain for Syracuse. The pressure comes initially on Ricky Collins, lucky to get it off, and the ball is wobbling out of his hand, deflected off the foot of Ross. But the concentration by Gill, and the ball gets punched out.
And Ross recovered it.
Ross recovered it. But after the deflection of his foot, he stayed in the play and got on top of the football.
Have you ever seen the timing of that where it's accidentally kicked and just pops up right in the air to a teammate?
Very rare.
Collins looking for a running lane, skips through a tackle, and finally dragged down at about the 9-yard line by Eifert. Man, Eifert plays hard and does not stop.
Yeah, he does. He gives you everything he's got. He's old school, man. He's intense. One of the true leaders of this defense and this football team. Been around this program for a while. One of the guys that Brent Key, his staff lean on when they need something done. And you referenced it a few times here, Dave. That Yasin Willis run early in this ball game was Eifert that makes the play at the 1, negates the touchdown, and held him to a field goal.
Quick pass out in space. Nixon. Maybe close to the goal line, but short.
This is an area they've been so good at all year, defending every blade of grass. Georgia Tech defense has answered the bell a lot. Let's see if they do it here.
Nixon stretches the ball out, and it's a touchdown. Would think Syracuse would go for 2 here to try to make it a 2-score game.
Take a look at it right down the line. Nixon goes down. Does his body stay up? What is it? Tough angle from there, but I guess enough. Body stays up, and he gets that ball across the goal line.
And if they're able to convert this 2-point play here, and obviously you're asking for a lot to go your way, but you're back 2 scores in the game.
That's right.
So Syracuse will go for Dose, brought to you by Dos Equis. Collins, and the pass knocked down. Intended for Valari. It was Omar Daniels for Georgia Tech. Made the play. Remains a 3-score game. Today's More Than a Home Team is brought to you by Cracker Barrel.
Well, it's been the Haynes King day all day. Quarterback draw up the middle late in the first half. Talked about this, the play action, the complexity of the run game draws the eyes of the defenders, and an easy find of his tight end, beat them for a touchdown. You liked it once, why not go back to it? Another play action pass, motion the tight end, beat them out into the flats, and an easy pitch and catch, and beat them down the sidelines for his second touchdown of the day.
Syracuse setting up for the onside kick, and it's an easy recovery for Georgia Tech. Elgin Sessions there for the Yellow Jackets, and so they will take over on offense, leading by 18 with just under 8 minutes to go in the game. Haynes King, first career game with 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing score. He had only 4 passing touchdowns all year coming in. We were having this discussion off the air. Because of the lack of passing touchdowns, it's hard to say he's in the Heisman mix, but that could change over the next month if that number goes up like it has today.
I think that the Heisman Trophy Award is such a stats-driven award. He would have to have, 3 touchdown performances, if not more, down the stretch, because he had such a deficit, and then you have potentially an ACC championship game. So I think from that aspect it'd be tough. From a rushing aspect, he's up to 11.
King again on the move, and he lost the ball, but it was out of bounds. It was recovered anyway by Haynes. Deuce Chestnut forced it out.
And I honestly hate that, Dave, that it is such a stats-driven award. Like, when we talk about impact, as that ball gets punched out there by Chestnut as it rolls out of bounds. Such a stat-driven award, but again, if we're talking about impact that you have on a team, I truly believe there are a few players that impact their team the way that Haynes King does this Georgia Tech football team. And to be honest, knowing him, if it would mean they could go on to win an ACC championship and have a shot in the college football playoff, I think he would prefer that even over a Heisman Trophy.
Not sure the reason for the stoppage there. First down and 10. No, they corrected the down. That was the reason. First down at the 36. King will keep it inside the 30. King almost had another touchdown, but Raheem Long Jr. tripped him up. Got enough of his shoelaces.
Well, we've talked about this a lot. It's going to come at you again. Backside guard Fusel, and now we're going to bring the other tight end Harpering, and it's going to be that quarterback counter. Once again, the bread and butter, the staple of what they do. And then the vision of Haynes King, that's the other part of this, because the hole opens up in different places. His ability to find where that space is, hit it downhill, so impressive. Closing in on 100 yards here, Dave.
And closing in on 300 passing. Jamal Haynes knocked out of bounds at the 11. Penalty markers down at the 20.
Jamal Haynes.
10-yard penalty, second down.
Don't forget, up next, a battle of top 15 teams. Vanderbilt and Missouri. Diego Pavia, 25 consecutive games with a passing touchdown or a rushing touchdown.
And don't forget about, on the Missouri side, Ahmad Hardy. He is one of the best running backs in the SEC and all of college football. So difficult to tackle. Both those offenses run it so well. Both have top 12 run defenses. Great matchup there in Nashville later on today.
Alabama, South Carolina will be on ABC. In Columbia. Jordan Allen inside the 15 on the end-around pitch. Brought down by Long at the 9. It'll be first and goal.
Well, this true freshman is explosive. I mean, this guy can absolutely go. You're going to see him in motion, and you're going to see good blocks outside. They do such a good job with the perimeter blocking, and you get speed on the edge, and then you secure blocks. Just such a good recipe. And when we talked to Buster Faulkner yesterday, we asked him, with Malik Rutherford out, how big of a problem is that? He said, we love Malik. We got other guys, and Jordan Allen, one of those guys.
Maddox is in at running back. He gets the carry here. Grounded after a short gain. Again, Georgia Tech will be in Raleigh to face NC State next week. They have to go to Boston College. Their last 2 games will be at home against Pitt and Georgia. Did we learn anything about them today? Are you further convinced at all based on what you've seen today? Or were you already convinced that Georgia Tech is as good as anybody?
I think that Georgia Tech is as good as anybody in the ACC. Are they as good as anybody in college football? I think that the jury's still out. We'll learn a lot more when they play Georgia. Within this conference, I think they're right there at the very top, and they're going to have a great chance. A little swinging gate here. They call these Batman. They love to call these trick formations after superheroes.
And it's King keeping it down to the 4. Yeah, he said they have a Spider-Man and a couple others, but he says he loves to go with Batman. The Adam West version, of course.
Batman's the best superhero, right? I mean, you got Spider-Man, you got Superman, but give me Batman.
Well, did you see Batman v Superman? Dawn of Justice?
I did not.
Well, somebody you work with might have been in that movie, but don't go see it. It's not very good.
Oh, you're a movie star now. Wow.
I didn't say that. I just said somebody you know might be in that movie.
Was that a Dave Pash with hair or without?
Well, it was 10 years ago, so it was a little bit of hair, but not much. King, another drop. And it's the same guy, Josh Beatham. Now, he's got 2 touchdowns, but he also has 2 more touchdowns than he should have had. They tried to give it to him. They ran basically what they did in the first quarter.
Exactly the same thing. And got that big reach, catch radius, right on the hand, but just unable to bring it in. And that would have helped the touchdown total for Haynes King. Now 2 touchdown passes left on the turf here this afternoon.
And had that been caught, he would have had as many touchdown passes today as he had the entire season coming in.
I think it's either a Haynes King run or pass. I think the ball stays in his hands.
They fake the pitch, he keeps it. He's in another Haynes King touchdown, his 12th on the ground this season. And he fakes the defense with those long arms on that fake pitch.
Yeah, fake toss, you're exactly right. Those long arms grab the attention of those linebacker safeties, get them moving outside, and then it's a counter that works back inside. And Haynes King, he's going to find the crease and he's going to get the end zone. And he wants the ball in the 4th quarter. Buster Faulkner told us that he'll go to him and say, give me the freaking ball. And they continue to give it to him all throughout the course of this game.
And it's now 41-16. And Georgia Tech inching closer to its first 8-0 start since 1966. They started 9-0 that year. They've only been 8-0 5 different times. So back in 1966, we have video of actually what took place back then.
Some more pictures of you?
See, neither of us were alive. Don't say I knew you were going to do that.
I know.
The average price of gas was 32 cents a gallon. Well, boy, wouldn't that be nice?
I'll sign up for that.
Speaking of Batman.
Hey!
It wasn't even the Adam West Batman yet on ABC. Twister was the most popular game. You play that?
Oh, heck yeah, I play Twister. I'm a mean Twister player.
And then it was the first year of the Braves and the Falcons in Atlanta.
Right here in the ATL. I grew up watching a lot of Braves games. Always on in the summertime. Cubs and Braves. I feel like everybody was pretty well versed.
Sports television's changed just a tad since then.
Just a skosh. Just a skosh. It is great, though, to have Georgia Tech back. And Brent Key to come back to his alma mater. He was on staff that year with Jeff Collins. And this thing, it was a mess. An absolute mess. It was a bad football team. It had lost its way. And he stepped in as the interim coach in that first game they beat a ranked Pitt team. And you knew right then in that moment, things were going to be different. He took that opportunity as the interim coach, parlayed that into getting this head job, winning record his first year, winning record his second year, and now in his 3rd year at his alma mater, he's got this team in the top 10, and now 8-0, Dave. It's just been remarkable to see what Brent Key's been able to do and the growth of this program under his guidance.
They were downright awful in 2022. One of the worst teams in the country. No one was coming to the games. They made a coaching change. They went with the alum, Brent Key, and played well the last 2 years. 7-6, 7-6. But they're going to top their win total from each of the last 2 years with this victory here today. Emmanuel Ross tackled at the 30, a gain of 5.
But they've got high aspirations of just winning this game here today, right? I mean, they've got big expectations. And one thing I love, we're talking to Haynes King this week. We're asking about, those expectations. He said nobody has bigger expectations on us on this team than from within. And they really think and believe they've got the opportunity to do something special here this season.
All right, time now for our Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
Georgia Tech has had 40 former players who have competed in the Super Bowl, but only one has won 3 Super Bowls. Who is it?
3 Super Bowls.
No guess, no thoughts.
I'm gathering my thoughts. You want me to answer it right now?
Well, if you know it, go for it.
3 Super Bowls. I'm trying to think of, I grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan. I watched them win 3 Super Bowls.
I mean, you got to win 3 Super Bowls too. That's the other thing. It's not just somebody that played in 3, but won 3.
Right.
Collins on 3rd and 5. Goes down at the 33. Bring it up 4th down.
Ricky Collins, quarterback keeper.
Don't forget, great finish over on ABC between Oklahoma and Ole Miss here on ESPN. Coming up, it's Missouri and Vanderbilt. And on ABC, coming up, it's Alabama at South Carolina. They're tied, ranked 4th coming into that game today. Collins gets rid of it, but it's incomplete. Wow. And so Syracuse turns it over on downs. There was pressure that time from Butler, but Collins panicked and just threw an errant pass that time. All right, let's answer the Aflac trivia question. Georgia Tech has 40 former players who have competed in the Super Bowl. Only one player has won 3.
Well, here's the
Super
question.
Bowls.
Do kickers count as players?
Well, to most humans, you're a former nose tackle. I know you probably didn't think kickers were people too, but yes. Harrison Butker, the Chiefs.
And he's an outstanding kicker, and I kid, obviously. Kickers are an extremely important, vital part.
You're not kidding. We know how you
game of
feel.
football.
You don't have to qualify that.
A little different game than the one Britt Key and I play on a down and down out basis, Dave. That's all I'm saying. Harrison Butker, though, a fabulous kicker there with the Chiefs, and obviously a great career here at Georgia Tech.
Aaron Philo is in the game at quarterback for Georgia Tech to close out this game. Ooh. And Shane Marshall, true freshman. Ooh. Hard run that time for a gain of 8, and he might be banged up. He's coming out.
You get your pads down there. Freight train coming down the tracks.
Aaron Philo started the game this year, and also last year played when Haynes King was hurt, and Haynes King missed 2 full games and parts of 3 others because of a shoulder injury. Philo played well against NC State off the bench and had some snaps in a win against Miami last year. And he'll finish out this game as we've reached the 2-minute timeout. Georgia Tech up 41-16.
4th and 5. Yeah, there we go. They keep going in and out. What the heck? John Mateer. Oh, you just lost.
Did they lose?
Well, I mean.
Oh, he's back. He's back from.
Kid. We got to show him. He's a college student.
Yeah.
Nine.
What? He's like a young Bill O'Brien there.
Oh, no. The heels again. Ole Miss won.
It's not over. OU's got 3 timeouts, so.
Okay. When we get the toss, I'm doing the read, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got 2 minutes, guys, till freedom.
Wow.
And another loss for the Tar Heels as we welcome you back to ESPN College Football presented by Serve Pro.
Virginia remains undefeated. They're an ACC play, finding a way to get it done. Really impressive year there by Tony Elliott, what they're doing there in Virginia. But we got to mention them when we talk about this ACC race.
They're now 4-0. SMU is up 2 on Wake Forest late. If SMU hangs on, they will be 4-0. Georgia Tech is about to go to 5-0. They're down and 1. J.P. Powell picks up the first down, and so a couple more plays would assume Syracuse won't call a timeout. That was Philo just keeping it there, picking up the first down.
You ask me what I think. What do you think about this Georgia Tech team? We've had a chance to see some really good teams in college football this year. How do you think Georgia Tech stacks up?
I agree with you that they're the best team that we've seen in the ACC this year. And the fact they played as well as they did last year against Georgia makes me really curious about that last game. If Georgia Tech wins the other 3 games before that, which is not a given. Gordon brought down at the 10, so it's going to be 1st and goal. If they have to snap it when they reset the ball, yeah, they will. They have to run 2 more plays.
This last month of the season, the ACC is going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds. There's so many teams that are right there in the thick of it. It feels like as we sit here right now, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Miami are the 3 I would put at the top, but there's no telling. But as we sit right now, I have not seen a better team in the ACC than the one we saw here today as they go to 5-0 in conference and 8-0 on the season.
And that 5-0 that you mentioned, it's the first time in school history the Yellow Jackets have accomplished that feat, and they've gone to 8-0. They have more wins this year than they had each of the last 2 years. They win 41-16 over Syracuse. For Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor, Dave Pash, saying so long.